After 2 weeks of evidence, the defense has rested their case in the trial for the man who killed 10 people at a Boulder King Soopers in 2021. Thank you for joining us for Denver 7 News at 5 this Wednesday. I'm Jessica Porter.
And I'm Jason Grenauer. The defense's argument: the defendant was insane at the time of the shooting, suffering from severe and untreated schizophrenia.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon was in the courtroom today when the shooter declined to take the stand. Colette?
It's what we expected, guys, but what we didn't expect was hearing from one of the witnesses called by the defense, a doctor who met with the defendant a handful of times in 2021, saying that when the defendant found out there's no death penalty in Colorado, he was actually upset. He apparently told the doctor the victims are dead and he should be too. Now today, it really came down to dueling expert witnesses, each speaking to the elements that determine sanity in Colorado. Did the shooter know right from wrong at the time of the crime, and could he form intent or premeditation? The prosecution only calling one witness for their rebuttal this afternoon, tying up any loose ends of their argument so far, really painting the picture for the jury, explaining why we went over every aspect of this case in so much detail. Dr. Ian Lamoureux, a forensic psychiatrist, normally is recruited by defense attorneys. He reviewed this case and found the shooter was sane. Some points he raised: on surveillance video, the defendant looked almost robotic during the crime and showed evidence of practice. When the gunman yelled, "This is fun," while shooting, as one pharmacist testified, it could speak to thrill as a motivation. Plus, surveillance video from the shooting doesn't have evidence the gunman was hearing voices while at the King Soopers.
If you were to imagine someone standing beside you shouting and screaming at you, you quickly understand that would be very distracting. You would be forced at times to respond to that person shouting at you. It would interfere with your ability to carry out certain tasks. It was quite remarkable to me just how focused and fixated he was on carrying out the shooting.
That testimony from Dr. Lamoureux, the last thing the jury will hear before they deliberate. But also on the stand today, Dr. Joshua Hatfield, who testified that in the first few days after the shooting, when he first met with the defendant, he was, quote, remarkably psychotic. Dr. Hatfield also saying just because of the amount of planning in this case, it doesn't necessarily speak to the shooter's sanity at the time of the crime.
There's this idea that there's this sort of rationality within irrationality. And what I mean by that is someone can take steps that seemingly look rational to achieve a particular goal. And that premise, the premise of that goal, could be irrational in and of itself.
An interesting point from the prosecution's witness this afternoon: millions of people in the United States are estimated to have schizophrenia, and typically people with schizophrenia, they're more likely to become the victims of crime, not the other way around. So really, each case needs to be evaluated individually. There's no blanket statement that can be made about this mental illness. Guys.
So Colette, 2 weeks of evidence has been presented in this case. That's a lot for the jury to go through.
So when can we expect them to start deliberating in this case?
Well, tomorrow it's been reserved just to finalize jury instructions, 55 counts. And as you guys know, this conversation around insanity, it can be complex. So they need enough time to make sure those instructions are finalized before Friday morning, when they'll be read to the jury first thing right after that, closing arguments. And the hope is that the jury could actually start deliberating before the weekend. Live in Boulder, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Colette, thank you.
A lot to come.
A lot to go through, yes. Denver 7 has you covered with online updates of the King Soopers shooting trial. Find gavel-to-gavel coverage on denver7.com.